Even then, actually, I don't think they could catch up. It would be a question of, if it comes down to round differential, I think it's RBG versus Third Impact that we really have to account for. We're going into Nuke. It's all could be decided here. If RBG win, we get into that tiebreaker territory. We get into the scenario where RBG have a shot at playoffs. If Team 1 managed to battle their way through here, then it all comes down to Dust 2.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see how RBG plays here and if they can take the map. But if we get to Dust 2, I think it'll come down to which players are performing best individually on either side. But here we go. We're into round number 1. Mike and RBG starting on their T side, since Team 1, of course, picks CT side. Looking to get off to that hot start, and PRT's waiting, watching with the pistol here. P2000 in hand. Hex gets the opening frag, though. X and S goes down, and PRT's just trying to spam through the smoke. But look at Walco. He's already made his way down towards Secret. He does have 3 players to contest with, though.
Leaving the one guy outside. What a shot for PRT. Just a reflex shot there. Does take it through now. Maluk's making it look good. Secures the bomb and 2. Leaves everything in the hands of Clasia. We saw him pull off some nutty plays towards the end of Overpass, but it was a slow start for the man. And this time it looks like it might be the same. Shot in the back of the head. Never even a chance to fight back. That'll be Team 1 taking a very comfortable pistol round to kick off their defensive half.
Wow. Yeah, I thought that was going to go towards RBG with the ground they gained early on and Hex finding the opening frag. But yeah, Team 1 had a really good setup, like I mentioned, towards Secret. And Maluk gets the 2 frags right away, so he doesn't have to worry about his teammates supporting him. Team 1 up 1-0, and they are going to buy into 3 MP9s, a FAMAS, and an AUG over on RBG. They're buying nothing except for a Zeus. And no, that Zeus is not going to do much when you're charging balls to the wall in from Mini.
That's the second Zeus that Clasia has bought here, and I really do appreciate the attempt. CT side, the Zeus actually works really well on this map. A lot of tricky things you can do. The best tricky thing you can do is go and not even involving a Zeus. Get your knife out, hang on that ladder halfway, and wait for the vent drop. The coolest thing.
Oh, yeah.
We saw, what was the matchup in the BTS event? Oh, who kept doing it? It was, I want to say it was Extra Salt versus, I don't remember who they're up against. But it was an Extra Salt game where Sonic is notorious for going for that vent drop, right? I want to say it was against, and they just kept going vent round after round after round and waiting for him, and eventually it worked out. This round's going to be a massacre. There was never really much of a glimmer of hope for RBG. No. They got 1 kill in total, and that's about it.
Yep, that was what you would expect from 0 pistols being bought up for rifles, as Team 1 take that easily. They build up a little bit of cash for themselves with those SMG frags as well. But now RBG have got the rifles out. They're ready to rock. You know, they've got
It was against Extremum. It was Gratisfaction kept going down into the vents just to catch the power because he knew that Sonic would drop, and eventually it worked out. That's who it was. Sorry, my memory is terrible.
It's all right.
I genuinely don't know how I've managed to succeed in this job with a short-term memory as bad as mine.
I really don't think your memory is as bad as you think it is, Mike.
The problem with my memory is it's fine when I'm not thinking about what I want to recall. But as soon as I'm like, go through the manual process of trying to retrieve the file, it's like the boot cycle starts, the little spinning wheel of death starts going in my brain, and it takes about 15 minutes before it comes up and delivers me the information I want.
It's like you have a really good cache, but then when you have to actually dig into the files themselves, that's when it becomes a problem.
Exactly.
Your seek speed drops.
I'm working on an old hard drive where it whirs when it starts recalling information. And you're like, I really should replace that disk, and then you forget about it for another month. Malbs. Love this spot for him with the MP9. They're dancing around. He hears all these footsteps. They have no idea he's here. They've overlooked him. Walco looks back. Walco's like, you know what? That was too easy. That was way too easy. Malbs tried to play his hand very far. He's a gambling man. This time, didn't work out. XNS will have been heard coming off of those hinges, I believe. So you could... 3 players are looking for him now. Yeah, they know he's here. He's still going to get the first, but the trade is there. And now they got their entry in towards the site. Nicely timed flashbang could allow more damage. At least allows PRT to reposition and get Maluk into support. But there's still a player coming from Squeaky. And PRT, well, as soon as that door opens, he might be dead. There it is. There's the trade. They take down shot beforehand. And there's a gap in the smoke. Maluk's got a big gap in the smoke, actually. But now they've seen him, so no one's going to peek.
Oh, okay. Maluk's going to get hexed, and Pesa could do some damage as well. Maluk goes down to Wiz. It's all up to Pesa. 1v2. He's got the time. He's got the kit. Walko's going to jump on top of Hut and immediately start spamming Maluk. So they're expecting him to come from here, and yeah, Walko's going to decimate him and add salt to the wound with the BM after his 3K. RBG pick up their first round on their T side.
Utility through. PRT with the Deagle. Most dangerous part of this round. PRT and mobs. They're the threat. Here's the knife play. Here's the knife play. Blind swinging. Unfortunately, he's probably not going to get a chance here because, well, if they're not going to vent drop, they've got control of A.
Yeah, this should be a pretty clean finish for RBG. Wiz is going to spray down Pesa. Maluk, along with PRT, are on the outside looking in. Nade's going to come through, and it does clip Maluk to take him down. Walko finding his 4th frag on the match, which leads his team. And PRT, the last one standing, only 1 death on the board so far, just going to try to connect with the Deagle through the smoke. But for all intents and purposes, unless he comes out with an absolutely heroic Deagle play, Mike, this round's done.
Q, absolutely heroic Deagle play. Now he doesn't even have time. Literally doesn't have time.
Yeah.
And now he doesn't have life. So 5 players survive for RBG. This is already a substantially better start than Overpass was. We know how that one turned out. And they're on the T side as well, so they can keep Team 1 on the back foot for as long as possible. That's the way you play a T side on Nuke, right? Once you can get a round, you got to get as many rounds as you can. Okay, so once that CT economy stabilizes,
yep.
Good luck. Op is out for Maluk. Where is he bringing it? He's dancing around, maybe going back in towards heaven. That seems to be the answer here. A lot of utility spent early on to clear out the hut. And here we're going to get the hit. This player up in the rafters, this player down low. XNS has been deleted. Maluk follows him into the grave, and this round might just be over. This might be a save call for Team 1 already. It's going to be. They've won the round. We're 35 seconds into the round, and it's been decided. RBG haven't dropped a player. RBG take the first gun round of this Nuke game.
Jeez. RBG are just playing really well. That's kind of the hallmark play, of a strong Nuke team is the ability to take that A site with authority on your T side, which RBG just did completely unfussed by anything they came up against. XNS just went down completely. Now Pace is going to try to drop down and evade the fire of RBG, but Wiz spots him out. And I mean, RBG, looking at their economy, chase, go for these frags. It's going to hurt Team 1 way more than it's going to hurt you to lose a player. And now only Mobs is left of the 3 players that we're trying to save, and they're continuing to try to spot him out. Everyone committed to the hunt, but they just can't see him. So luckily for Team 1, they do save a rifle out of that. That's the second time that Team 1 has had trouble saving against RBG, and on Overpass, it was extremely costly as well.
Alright, what can Mobs do with this 1M4? Watching outside, they're getting aggressive outside. PRT is going to rip one with the hand cannon. Playing around the squeaky door. There's more players here. They're going to give him another chance. PRT! It's going to take 2. He's been silenced. But he's done so much damage. He's made this round positively downright dangerous, and his Deagle will even live on in the hands of XNS. PRT might have just flipped the script here on Nuke. Well, I was going to settle back in towards a ramp. I almost don't like that since I know he survived, right? He's been their ramp player. I would prefer the M4 move and shift. I can understand you can't concede ramp, especially not with an advantage here. So they do settle back towards a bit more of a default. Pesa gets caught outside. Nice decisive peek from Walco. Now Mobs is going to keep it shifting, but as he does, they move in to occupy ramp. He's drawn to take this fight outside to try and find his player, and instead he'll lose his life. Really nice play from Walco. Feels like we've been saying that a lot tonight.
Yeah.
And they're going to take Evan, so they're actually going to pinch in towards the site. Walco continues to just kill everybody. He doesn't even need his teammates. And so all this work from PRT at the beginning of the round is going to be for naught. It's all they get out of the round.
Walco finding his 33rd frag on the series in that round, giving his team the 4-2 lead. If we jump back on over to Overpass, he was the leader on both sides with 26 frags, only 19 deaths, plus 7 kill to death differential, and a 98.8 ADR, good for a 1.33 rating. He was on fire, but a player that caught fire more so in the second half was Hex, who had 23 frags, 87.1 ADR, and also had a 1.33 rating, as Maluk's gonna wake up here with the op for 2! Chop and Hex go down, could find a third, but Wiz finally ends his streak, and it's a 4v3 in favor of Team 1.
You know, I feel like Team 1, and Maluk in particular, sometimes has what I would like to describe as the Pringle problem. Which is
Pop, you just can't stop.
I'm glad you asked, John. I'm glad you asked. You see, John, with Pringles, once you pop the top, you just can't stop. So I feel like sometimes you get 1 kill, great. You get 2 kills, even better. Maybe don't peek for that third. Always wants to get that 3rd kill. Always wants to get one more peek, one more peek. You get punished. We'll see if it comes back to bite him in this round. Still, he gives a nice advantage over towards his team. Been equalized. X and S here by the squeaky door. In a little bit of a rough spot. Hawk and 8 on through. 40 seconds. They're going to go back to pressure ramp. They're going to go back to pressure ramp. Mobs is here. He has been quiet so far this game, which is why they feel okay about bullying him here. And he's going to drop down without any damage, but at least this time he's able to slip in towards the site. So now maybe the cavalry can come here. He's going to fake like he's gone through the window. They're going to see that, but he's tucked into the rat hole. There's one, and he's dancing. He's trying to survive. Time is what he needs to buy here for his team, and he can only buy so much. But it has gotten them back in position. They're not going to be able to play comfortably. They're out in the open. They're popping these double doors. They got 2 players here. A flashbang's not enough, but they're just trying to play with clock. That's a huge kill. 5 seconds just in time. They'll get this bomb planted. Oh, could Pace it deny? No. But he can bring it down to the clutch. He chose the wrong player to shoot at. And he'll get it. Pesa doesn't even care. A shot through the skull of Wiz and the defuse on. Magnificent there for Pesa. And Team 1 finally find the gun round they've been looking for.
I mean, that's a good time to find your first 2 frags of the map if you're Pesa. Critical ones, making a huge impact here for Team 1, getting them back into it. And now they're only 1 round down of RBG. But if you're RBG, you got 4 rounds on the board, your economy is stellar, your T side's looking strong. This is good. This is great for them, in fact. So we'll see if Team 1 can continue to respond here, and they're going to finally roll out the XM1014 on PRT's hands. And we saw Barton, I think it was on Godsend, do the damage against Team 1, in fact, with that XM getting a 4K from this exact position.
XM clip. Ah, only 1. So it's $900, mate. It ain't bad. It is a gentleman's weapon. All right, without looking, John, give me the 5 letters, or the 5 numbers. 4 numbers? 4 numbers on the back of the XM.
1014?
What was that?
Did you say the 4 numbers?
Yeah.
1014?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Thought I'd get you out with the trivia. I did that on Steal My Skins at one point. I don't remember whether they got it or not.
I've been playing CS for too long.
Yeah, I know, but you would not believe the number of people who have thousands of hours in CS and have just never thought about those numbers.
It's in the name, though, so...
Yeah, but they just think XM, and then they forget the rest. You would be surprised. Speaking of surprises, Team 1 might have one on their hands, because 4 players have gone down secret, and they were not spotted at all. No one was looking for this. There is a player towards lower. Mobs is here, and he's going to hear these footy tips. Okay, the surprise has been ruined. Cavalry is being called, but can Mobs do impact here? No. Wow. What a way to do it. They were spamming. Open the door. Dome shot. That's a little bit awkward. Walco getting caught out in the open, and suddenly they get nothing. There's only one player here. It's Wiz. He's in a 1v2. But he seems to have some idea about where these players are coming from. Dodges the flashbang, doesn't realize there's one in his back. His head's visible, and XNS is eventually going to realize what he's got in front of him. They'll have to wait for their own Molotov to clear here. Bit awkward, but there's plenty of time for it. No issue. 10-second defuse or no. It will be Team 1 tying up the game here.
But it was a little scary. I'm going to be honest, Mike. XNS has looked a little rough on the sprays tonight, and he gave Wiz a chance to flick on him. Luckily for him, Wiz really had no idea where he was being shot from, and he couldn't adjust quickly enough. So Team 1, as you mentioned, are indeed going to tie this one up, but it was a bit sloppy getting to that point. That said, I really did like the play made by Pesa to get that 2K. He flicked around looking towards fence, got one, then immediately went towards double doors for his second frag. So Team 1 are trying to take the lead here against an RBG squad that continues time and time again to be a thorn in their side.
Here's the problem, though. They haven't been able to keep bodies alive, and RBG are consistently planting the bomb. So once again, we can see an XM out. That's not the worst thing in the world, but there's some limitations on nades, and there's really no money left in store. Mobs has a bit, and that's it. Pressure on. XNS goes down towards the second vent. Now they've got the bomb site. PRT's here in the smoke with an XM. Where does he... Oh, he spots one. Spots one. They go back to clear it. Oh, awkward fight to take with the XM. Chop. What a play to clear that. If there was a rifle in PRT's hands, this is a very different round. But as it is, that's going to need to be the save for Team 1 because they've got no cash to spare.
Yeah, they're really calling these saves quite aggressively, but as you mentioned, you have to, given your economy situation. And RBG, well, they're going to continue to build up their economy. They haven't been under too much stress in terms of their buys, and this could have been a round that Team 1 would punish them with if they would have won it, but no, not going to happen. And RBG's again going to build up that economy quite significantly, needing only to buy up one rifle heading into round number 10, and they've got their lead back in their back pockets. One thing, Mike, that was a little rough for PRT. I understand the play, right? Waiting and letting the player pass by, but Chop hadn't cleared out Squeaky yet, so yeah.
The thing is also he literally couldn't get the kill at that range with the XM reliably.
Well,
not at that range,
not reliably,
man.
Yeah.
That is just far enough that you have to spam like 4 times, and at that point you're going to get turned on in one shot. Like, I understand the play. You cannot get that kill on the guy trophy that reliably. He's just too far away with an XM. So, and so instead, right, if you see that one guy's holding deep on ramp, your assumption is there might be 2 in the hut right now. I love the trigger discipline there. It's just that Chop had the thought in the back of his mind where he's like, you know, no one's cleared Squeaky. I should probably do that.
Yeah. Got outsmarted, well, not outsmarted by Chop, but yeah, like you said, good play by Chop to go back and make sure that was cleared and not leave it open and ripe for the picking. Team 1 is going to leave the outside kind of open a little bit. Pace is going to come out here, sees the wall of smokes blooming, and he's going to pop a flash over it. Chop, ooh, right on the edge of it, almost got spotted by Pesa. Pesa's actually distracted by Wiz, but more so than that, he gets the frag, drops through the smoke, and almost finds Chop, but Chop is going to get the frag. 3v3, Mike.
Pretty big assumption there from Pesa that he'd have the escape route down in towards secret, right? When you're on that roof, it's such an exposed spot, but he was hoping the smokes would cause enough distraction, didn't realize that the player was forward there. I get info coming back to bite, then they're going to try and make a play in towards ramp, but Hex was wise to it. Oof. I don't know whether he heard an audio cue or whether he was just ready for it. It leaves Maluk alone. And Maluk won't be able to get that first shot going. If he hits that, maybe there's a chance at the clutch. But that's going to be RBG not just winning a round. The round is good, but also really depleting the bank account for Team 1. This is what we were talking about. How many rounds came down close. How many rounds they were saving guns. Now Team 1 is in a lot of trouble because this is where RBG can take this T side and make it phenomenal. And Team 1 already down a map in the series on their opponent's map pick. If they're staring down an 8-round, a 9-round T side for RBG, that pressure turns up to 11.
I mean, this is going to be really tough for them to come back from if RBG continue to take the rounds. You're absolutely right, Mike. Team 1, though, no slouch for those Deagles. Mobs with an aggressive play here. He spots out Classy, who can't hit his spray, but finally does. Of course, he was flashbang. That's why he couldn't hit it immediately. Maluk does get one on Classia, but now Hex is going to spot up Maluk. And Hex is a player I wanted to talk about, Mike, but maybe I'll have to wait a little bit. No, I have a bit of a moment. Yeah, last season, he had 437 frags and a plus 95 kill death differential. I thought I had time, but Pace against Walco.
Keep going.
3v3.
One more kill and you have to cut it off. One more kill and you have to cut it off. Keep going.
Oh, man. I don't want to miss any of the action, though.
You're not
But
gonna.
plus 95 kill to death differential for Hex, 23 frags per map. And this is last season. He also had 0.849 frags per round, which was number 7 in Premier, 90.4 ADR, which is number 5 in Premier, and 29 3-kill plus rounds. He was a monster for this team last season, but he quieted down completely. This season, 228 frags, plus 7 kill to death differential, 1.03 KDR, and a 77.9 ADR, which is just not very Hex-like. The good news for them is we're at the end of the season, potentially going towards playoffs, and man, it's looking hot.
This is weird. They've committed the 2 rifles in, but they don't have the time. They don't have the kit. They'd picked up 2 AKs, but they tried for the retake, and it just doesn't work out for them. Now, they'll be able to buy in this round regardless, so for Team 1, it was worth the risk, right? You're in a 3-on-3. Yeah, time's not working out, but just maybe you somehow eke that one through. Didn't happen. That's okay. Now the guns are out, though. And this is a critical round. This is one of those rounds where you're looking at the map afterwards, and you say, this is a round that decided the game. We're at that point. It's a fulcrum. If Team 1 can win this, we've got a contest in our hands. If they drop it here, we're going to need some sort of crazy comeback. Walco's burning. He's gone for the... Did he go for the vent drop? Where did he take that much damage? Was that just spam through? No, he has succeeded on the vent drop. Risked the Molotov for it. Sorry, mini-map caught me off a little bit there, but he is all the way down towards lower now. Control taken. They want to connect with him coming through ramp, but Mobs is going to extract a pound of flesh to do it. Again, this is a player we look to as a star for this team, and so far on Nuke, it has been a bit quieter. But if they could get a classic Mobs round, it won't be this one. One and done in the ramp. There's a second player in the angle. It's Maluk, but that's a lot of pressure on for the Opera, and he's flashed off. Coming back through. He's going to catch the first. He's not punished, but he goes back for one more. The old Pringle problem. And that'll be ramp taken. That'll be the lower site secured. And it's a pretty good position for Walco as well. As Pesa comes around this corner, his kill could be huge. But no, he hears the player in bed. He gets Walco! Pulls out all 3. The massive play from the leader. And RBG are up to 8.
Walco, you gotta be kidding me. I mean, he's having the time of his life here, Mike. A 3K just shutting everyone down, especially after that nice play by Mobs. And even Maluk falling up with an op frag, but RBG not to be denied. Oh, goodness. That was beautiful. Didn't let go of the trigger. Great spray control for him. And RBG up to 8. They've taken the half on their T side, and Team 1 are back on their pistols. This could be double digits for RBG, but no, XNS with the 5-7 takes down Walco. Got a little too eager going out there towards Hut. And that's an AK gifted to the hands of Team 1 in a round where they were really down and out, but now they've got a chance.
PRT gets another. All right. You have my attention now, Team 1. This would be the most Team 1 round to win, right? Deagles and nothing.
Yep.
They've got 2 AKs now. Wiz will thin the herd. Just a little bit. There's players down lower. Maluk's going to go looking. Maluk's going to go looking. He finds a rifle, but he finds the kill. The bullets just missed.
Oh, no.
And he puts one through the eyes of Hex. Peek for Chop. Takes out one of those found rifles, but everybody else has an AK. Wiz and Chop, they're trying their best here. They spotted these players. They brought it down to even numbers. Still a lot of control for them, and they got the utility on their side. That could be a bit of a cross to bear, though. Because you're thinking about where to deploy the utility on the other side. They're just clicking heads, man. They're just clicking heads. This is the right read. Okay, RBG. Great call. Bail out. Recognize you don't have control of the situation, but that they have to have both crosshairs committed down here and bail. Now Wiz has the right read on this. If he trusts it, this could be very bad. That smoke will confirm what's going on here. As they're coming around, and Chop even gets one better. All the pressure in the world on Pesa. This round was so close to working out for Team 1. but Wiz and Chop have steered the ship in towards shore, and at this point, Pace is out of time. He has to bail to keep the rifle alive. Cannot win it without the kit. What a missed opportunity for Team 1 to take this round back in control. Even a nice shot there on the tail end for Pesa, but it just doesn't matter. RBG don't care about what's going on here. All they care about is adding one more to that win column.
Oh boy. So Team 1 do not get another round on their belt, at least there. RBG taking a 9th. And a match pause being called. Is that our technical mic?
I believe it is. I believe that is. Let me just take a little peeky poo with the logs. Ooh. Nope, that's a Team 1 timeout.
Okay.
Looks like.
Yeah, Maluk is a bit quiet here tonight, and he's definitely a player they look towards to get the job done. I mean, he's sitting at 10 frags, right? So it's not too quiet, but he hasn't really been implicated enough, I think, for Team 1's liking. Sitting at plus 50 kill to death differential on this season and a 1.23 KDR. He's been a big piece for them behind Mobs. But tonight, well, we need to see more of him. And last time I called him out, he started to frag like crazy, so we'll see if it happens again.
You know, you talk about guys who are missing. Mobs has been getting bullied here in the ramp.
That's true.
That's just so unusual for him. You want to put a strong player on ramp because it's such a critical position to controlling this map, and usually Mobs delivers that for them, and he's just having a tough go of it. RBG seem to have his number. Now, I would expect that to switch once we go to the second half. He's fantastic as a T most of the time, but the question is how much of a buffer do they have to get rounds off once we switch the half? If this is double digits for RBG, this is very distressing if you're a Team 1 fan. Let's say that. 2 more rounds here in this half. They need to convert.
Yep. Well, the smoke's going to come in here for RBG. Maluk is going to take a shot through the smoke and try to connect on something, but of course nothing doing. RBG just throwing that wall of smokes, but not really committing to anything towards secret. In fact, it looks like their destination is going to be this A site with Walco holding some utility to land right onto the site proper. That's going to be a flashbang on through. Pesa waiting. XNS gets 1 PRT a second, and it's actually Pesa on the site, not finding any frags, but is doing damage to both players. Walco trying to come out from Squeaky. XNS will get taken down by Chop, in fact, and it's Maluk to find 1 response, but only the bomb. Yes, the bomb is down. Excuse me.
We get interesting. Great shot for Wiz. Not going to hit the second, and Mobs cleans up the player towards lower.
Yep.
Ooh, that plant could have made things very dangerous. There's still plenty of money for RBG, so it's not as critical, but I would have added an extra amount of pressure here for Team 1. Now they're in a great position. They've at least got 5 rounds. That's the minimum buffer you really need. 6, much better. But 5 rounds is what you had to secure here, and that does allow you to breathe a sigh of relief. This is the last round of the half. It all rides here. Double digits going to be reached here for RBG on the T side of Nuke. Let's find out together, folks. Mobs has brought a Zeus into the round as a talisman. I like that. It's a full buy right there. Players always forget to buy up all the way when you've got excessive money. Gotta buy the Zeus. Critical piece of the equipment, John.
Always, yes. You must buy a Zeus just to have one in case a player is literally kissing you.
Well, it's when you're in knife distance, but not in knife distance. You know, you're just outside of knife distance. The Zeus is just a better knife.
I'm not sure if you've convinced me, Mike.
Kill from Pesa. Okay, yeah. Maluk's coming, looking up from secret as well. That might distract them. And Pesa's out of play, and that Molly's gonna... Okay, that was bold from Maluk. Most operators go back when they get Molotov in that position. Maluk goes forward, and he dies for it. So now an advantage back for RBG. Smoke's down. XNS is hearing a lot of noise here by many. There's a gap on the right side he was hoping to exploit, but players already passed him, and now Mobs knows he has to be concerned. Knows he has to be majorly concerned. PRT has some control towards the lobby, but there's a player coming in late, so he might actually get flanked. Huge kill for an XNS. That would have been the domino upon which everything else would have fallen. But PRT, I don't think he's long for the world here in the squeaky spot. Clasia seems to have the right idea. Oh, no, now he knows. Now he knows. Clasia's fumbled that a little bit. They know there's a player here, but they can't zero in the kill, and that's what matters. This is really weird. RBG are all around the map, and Mobs will take advantage of that. Again, shots in the back, but no, it swings. 10 seconds left. They have to get this bomb planted. 8 seconds. That might have just been enough. Mobs playing off against Clasia. Clasia forcing the bomb on down, and Mobs has missed the audio cue. He missed the audio cue, so now the round timer's reset and they're dancing. They are dancing a dance of death, and Mobs will do the two-step. Ooh, bomb will be defused. This will be the round. Mobs excited about that one. Team 1 will limp out of this first half with at least 6. We're going to take a quick break here, folks. When we come back, could just be the conclusion of this series and both of these teams' playoff hopes.
Doing this together, it's me by you. All through the night, all through the night. This is me, this is you. When we get together, we can all pull through. I don't ever wanna stop this groove. Let's get it right. Take it to the Lord, then take it to the grave. Listen to the wise man, tell me what he say. Listen to your heartbeat like it still bleed. A little bit of hope, yeah, it's what we still need. Say a little prayer for the moment. Give what you got, just go in. Can't hold you back if you own it. Live your life like it's chosen. No matter what, I won't let up. It's in my soul, it's in my blood. And I won't take no for an answer. If it don't hurt me, it makes me stronger. No matter what, I won't let up. It's in my soul, it's in my blood. And I won't take it no more if I won't. Oh, baby, just leave it to me. I know what I need. You'll find it to see. And if you believe, you live and you breathe, you'll find the keys. Know what I need, I know what I need. You find the keys.
And we're back in here with Nuke. This could be the last half, potentially, for one of these teams entirely. If RBG win here, we get into a weird scenario where we don't quite know who's going to make it through playoffs. It's all going to depend on Third Impact's last couple of series, and things are going to get wonky. If Team 1 managed to bring this through, they go to Dust 2, a map that we would definitely favor them on. But this RBG team right now, I talked about how they have these moments where they just play above the level we've seen from them, and this feels like that. They're so good right now. Ever since they came alive on Overpass, this has just been a different team, John.
Yeah, absolutely. I've really loved what we're seeing here from the RBG squad. You're 100% right, but I mean, how can we talk about RBG right now without talking about Walco and the way he has performed? It has been just absolutely lights out from the man. And I mean, there's no better way to lead your squad than to get the frags, get some great callouts on your T side, and power your team towards a 9-6 half on T side of Nuke. Now, that said, I mean, obviously it's an advantage given how CT sided Nuke can be, right? But at the same time, we've seen those matches where we have two teams who have awesome T sides, and it ends up being really tightly contested at the end of the day. So maybe Team 1 can come back and do exactly what RBG did to them, and then we're going to end up going down to the wire, which, again, given the history between these two teams, it doesn't seem like it's unlikely.
No, and I also, just to keep people informed, I'm just keeping an eye on the Pain third impact game. It's going into map point right now. It's 15-11, Pain up. If that happens, we're likely getting our three-way tie scenario if RBG win here. It's getting weird. It's getting funky. We'll have to see. Maluk boosted up here, trying to pop off some shots with that P250. We know how much he likes to use that gun. Seems like 3 players going to come outside, so Classy has a chance to find some heads. So far, not really connecting, and eventually Malms will. Pressure going to come in. Seems like this might be a mini wrap. And indeed it is. Hexed up by the vent. Gets a shot through. There's dualies as well, and this is a great crossfire. It's all falling apart here for Team 1. Maluk will be chased out, and that is RBG taking it through. They had a great setup to respond to exactly that play. A player in Squeaky, a player by the vents, a player in Heaven. Every way you look for Team 1, you're getting shot from another.
Wow. Couldn't have asked for more from RBG in that opening round. 10-6 lead now. Rifles and SMGs across the board for them. And over on Team 1, just the Glocks. They're not even going to try to force climb here, Mike. I'm surprised that they didn't try to do something, but obviously they want to save for this next round. Chop going to have a look towards Squeaky here. Maluk looking
John,
around.
Pain of 1. So third impact will have one more series against Censored, and if they win that, and if RBG wins this series here, we have a 3-way tie to determine which 2 teams make it to playoffs. Gonna get weird.
That's going to get extremely weird as RBG, I mean, they're 1 round closer, of course, in the previous one. Mid-round, Classy is going for the BM on Malbs. Walco, Hex, and Chop get 3, and Pace is the last one standing. Okay. All right, Classia, more BM coming through.
That's where you start to twist the screw on the mental. You know what pressure they're under. You know how they're feeling. And now is where you really start to ratchet it up. You've got a 5-round lead. This is your map pick. You're on the favored half of your map pick. And this could be the game that puts you through the playoffs. What did they say? They had to do 16-9. 16-9 was what they were shooting for?
I think so. That's what they were aiming for, yeah.
The other one was a little bit closer. It was, what, a 16-12.
Yes.
But this, if they go 11-6 on this one, we're back in the wash. Or it's 16-6 on this one.
Yeah.
They're back in there.
Classy could do a lot of damage in this round, Mike. You know, he's playing this B ramp. You got 3 players from Team 1 kind of sneaking around near trophy. Maybe they'll come in through into his crosshairs. Walco's trying to play the tip of the smoke. I really like the play because you can catch him off guard coming from red box, but XNS has a good angle in towards Secret, so Walco's going to have to be careful there. PRT taking some nade damage down to 60. Now he's going to spray Walco down through the smoke. That was the risk of going for the boost, and PRT spots him out. So 5v4, now a 5v3 as Maluk takes down Chop. Back and forth action briefly until PRT and Pesa almost ended, and Malbs puts on the killing blow with a very nice shot to the dome of Classy on Mike. So Team 1, despite the fact that RBG had a considerable amount of momentum built up, they go against the flow of play and pick up a round.
I mean, that's the first gun round, right? That's where you got to get it started as the T side. And this is probably going to be an eco for RBG. Classy is even kind of on a double eco, but they had enough money on the other players that they'll just pick up the 1 deagle, and somebody will drop Classy an MP9 or some such. The force buy pans out for Team 1. Not even the force buy, just the gun round. Just the gun round. Deep smokes outside. And playing around at his Hex. That 1 deagle. Trying to rotate to wherever the pressure's coming in. Seems like they're going to make their way in towards A. Good Molotov to provide pressure. Chop with an USP just goes forward, puts it to the temple of SNS and pulls the trigger. But that's the deagle out of play. That's 2 more players down. It shouldn't really be an issue here. And yeah, they're going to be fine. Team 1 is going to be able to convert the 8th. We'll see if Walco can do any damage, but it's unlikely.
Yeah. Team 1 are going to get an 8th on the board, no doubt about it, and this is great news for them. I mean, despite the fact that RBG picked up those first 2 rounds, not being able to convert the 3rd was very problematic, and that save from Team 1 in round number 2 ended up being an absolutely incredible call. Walco, now with the USPS only, is going to have to back off here, and PRT's going to clean him out anyway. 2 for Pesa, 1 each for Maluk. PRT and Mob, so just one short of that teammates with XNS needing to come in to get that, but it didn't happen. Either way, Team 1 are only down by 3 here. RBG, if they really want to reclaim control of this map, it's this round that they need to take.
Deep control by the red box. Here's Walco. Ooh, it's going to get kind of interesting. He's got an op to support as well in the hands of Wiz. They know someone's out here. You can see how much utility is being committed around. Flashes, nades. Trying to harass, trying to show presence. But they're not going to test it. Having not gotten anything, having not gotten anyone to reveal themselves, they're not going to test it. And that means Walco can continue to press if he so chooses. Here comes a ton of utility in, but CASA is also deep by ramp, and he's going to catch one. Might get the second, goes for the gun swap immediately, not expecting Mobs to come through, but there's Wiz back on the angle, and he's not going to pull the Pringle problem. Gets that one kill, drops the smoke, gets out of there. They're in towards lower, but there's already 2 CTs close at hand. Chop! That would be huge. Instead, it's a huge damage exchange. They open the double doors, and the flashbang brings them through. What a great flash. Thrown. Maluk might have just sealed the round with that flashbang. It's going to be. Wiz has to save this. There's no way he can think about going for this. He wants one more peek, but that's not a good idea. Get the heck out of there. What a flash.
It was an excellent flash, and Maluk is known for that. I mean, obviously, he is the IGL, so he has his utility usage on point, does get a lot of flash time on the board in terms of seconds of flash time every map, and Maluk is going to get the last one on Wiz, so no op saved here for RBG. That round hurts so much because RBG is forced onto a save here, an eco round going to come through, and Team 1 could tie this one up.
That's your lead evaporated.
I mean, it's very close.
That's absolutely your lead evaporated. It's a good thing you had such a big buffer coming into this half because it is gone.
Mike, do you think Classio might be regretting the BM there mid-round a little bit?
Probably not.
No?
No.
I don't think so.
They converted that round. Might have ticked off Mobs, though. Mobs is looking a lot. I mean, I said it was likely to happen, but he is looking a lot more lively here on this half. I will say, the fumble swap to the MP9, or the swapping for the MP9 for the AK, not expecting a second player through. Those are the kind of moments that come back to bite you. If he could get the AK up, it would have been huge. But not having the gun in his hand, rather unfortunato.
Yeah. Another pistol round here for RBG as well. And Pace is going to clean out Hex, who tried to sneak into lobby, but Pace was wise to it, Mike.
Chop with another USP kill. He has now found 2 USP kills in this game, and he's got a rifle now. He's got an AK. And he's got control of lobby. They're trying to come in towards heaven, but it's the lockers they should be concerned about. They've got heaven. But down below, some rats skittering around. Good try for Classio. That's not going to happen. USP not likely to happen either. Knows where the players are, but what can you do with it with just a USP? Now it's just the one rifle from Chop. Whoa, how is damage still being done? How is Wiz still alive? How is this round gotten so expensive?
Wow, yeah.
Mobs answers those questions.
I mean, luckily for Team 1, it doesn't matter too much because PRT has 12,000 in the bank to work with. Maluk has 10K, so they'll be able to absorb that pretty well. But still, down to only 2 players against only what was a save here for RBG.
USPs,
okay.
No armor.
Yeah,
a little bit concerning.
It absolutely is. 2 AUGs, 2 M4s, and the op coming through for RBG. Over on Team 1, it's 4 AKs, and the op, as mentioned, they won't have any trouble buying up here. And they're trying to tie things up at 11 to 11. What's up?
Look at this peek from Wiz. This is weird. It's to peer over exactly these smokes that they throw. He's going to get a kill. He's going to get a kill. No, PRT goes close. Oh, I thought PRT was about to wander into his crosshairs. This got wonky. Now Wiz has to be very careful. Should not stick around. PRT's going for the switch in towards mini, and he's gone. He's made his way in. There's smokes all over the place. No one has any idea where anyone is. PRT's dead. That's a huge pick, but do they expect the player towards second vent, considering there was one close up? This could be very problematic. Timing is rough for Classio, but he still manages to get 1 kill. But that's the ramp room taken away, and there's no positioning towards lower. Chop is going to have to go down this vent. There's still a player at Squeaky as well. It's the Opera of Maluk. That's a bit of a tricky gun to work here on the flank, and so he's not really going to try and do it. Timing coming to the ramp, though. This could be huge. And Wiz wins the day. There's Chop out the door. Now they don't have the bomb planted. The bomb's actually down on the pavement. There's still 40 seconds to play with, but trying to make his way over, XNS gets caught. So no tie here for Team 1. Not here, not now. RBG, they hold them at bay, at least for a moment. But here's the thing. The Brazilians have plenty of cash. They're coming right back for another swing.
Yeah, timeout going to be called here. And just checking the logs, that is a Team 1 timeout being called. Which makes sense given their situation. Although they do have enough money to buy up here, which they almost certainly will. What they're discussing right now is how do they approach this round against an RBG team that has just spotted them out and managed to pick up a 12th and end their run. Oh boy, 2 AKs, an M4, a FAMAS, and an AWP here for RBG. Team 1 are going to go with AKs across the board. Okay, they could have brought an AWP into this round. They decided, no, we're going to go with that mobility, so we're likely going to see some very hectic action on their side, maybe a rotate or two. They're ready to adapt to the play of RBG, though, that's for sure. Here, Mike, as a wall of smokes is immediately going to be thrown by Team 1 for the outer yard.
Molly down. This door's going to open, and Chop might just get his head ripped off. There it is. Chop down. Now the site's open. They're coming right in. Hex next to follow. This round's over. This round is over.
Yep.
This bomb's going down. Team 1 with a decisive A take. Exactly like we were seeing from RBG in the first half. These T sides have been wonderful.
Yeah. It's the quick play into the A
Look at
site.
this chase from
Bread and butter.
XNS.
Yep.
Walko has no idea. Walko has no idea. That's another gun out, and that's a lot of util, too. This is money being fled from them. Classy will be able to bring that up, but he might just get pincered. Never mind, there's not a player in ramp. I don't know why I thought there was. That's confusing me a little bit. Once again, trying to pick up the gun. Classy gets caught. Mobs has got him twice on that play.
I mean, there's just no reason to try and go for that in that situation. Wait a little bit longer until they try to show them, or they show their hand more, right? And see if they're going to try and chase, because you had the M4. It's more than enough to deal with a player coming through a smoke like that. But Classy gets a little too eager. Yeah, I mean, I understand it, but just a little more patience would have helped him out there. And Team 1 back on the board immediately. They've got an 11th round on their belts. That timeout was a very good one to call. And the strategy was even better.
All right, so
Only
Wiz
one
with
round
the
away
AWP.
game. Yep.
Can he swing this round? Because there's not a lot else. There is not a lot else here. He's going to try and get aggressive, but 2 mollies are in to deny him this space, and Faze is already blocking out on towards A. They're going fast. Walko, a fadeaway P250 shot. That might ask some questions, but they still should have answers. Oh! Okay. All right. That's the kind of flick to get you going. A molly means that Classy can't push it forward, but that's now a rifle in their hands, and it is even numbered. They might just let Walko do some stuff, see if he can't pull off something silly with the P250, and continue to probe. They don't have a kit. At some point, they should probably think about saving this AWP and the rifle, and indeed they are. It's just the P250 that's committed. At this point, they're going to bail. Did get kind of weird, though, didn't it, John?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, good job by Classy to finally get the AK in his hands. Not at the time he wanted to, but at least save it over into this next round. That said, this is excellent for Team 1. Their T side has been as good as RBG's was up to this point, and that's why we're tied up 12-12. RBG coming back with a buy-up, though this time around it's going to be a little bit all over the place, deciding who gets what, but at the end of the day, it's going to be full utility. 2 M4s, an AUG, and the AWP in Wiz's hands. Over on Team 1, they've also got the AWP back up and running. That is for Maluk. Maybe he'll take the outside fight up against Wiz to try and deny AWP control here for RBG, but the nades come out. That should connect. No, actually it does a lot less damage than I expected on PRT, who has managed to sneak his way down to secret, but with the wall of smokes thrown, RBG has to expect some presence there.
Walko. Trying to buy some time here. Keep them bunched up in towards secret. That molly does let them know their presence is not gone unobserved. Okay, there's somewhat depleted on utility as well. They still got a bunch of mollies, but not much else. Single smoke, couple flashes. They're going for a boost. They're going for a boost. Mob's seen it. But Walco, they've seen each other. He sticks around. Walco thought he'd seen the boost. He actually does get the shot on the Malbs. The problem is he's holding an M4. So Malbs limps away. Bit unfortunate. AK advantage. AK built diff. And look at Pesa still in the lobby. Pesa gets 1. Pesa gets 2. That's the round. That's going to be Team 1 taking the lead and keeping their hopes alive here as they funnel back on towards A to get this bomb plant. Once again, Wiz has to save this off. Once again, CASA needs to back off. How many rounds has this been that Wiz has kept this off alive?
I think it's been 3 in a row. But, I mean, jeez.
Gonna die. Oh, no. Actually, this time XNS goes the other direction. He caught a player here just before, but this time he wants the op. He wants bigger game. The most dangerous game of all. The AWP. And he's going to get it.
Yeah. Wiz, gonna go down there. That's really a tough pill to swallow for RBG because not only is Team 1 getting their 13th round victory on the board here, their economy is incredible, especially for their T side. I mean, you can buy up for the next 2 rounds extremely comfortably. In fact, the next 3 rounds because they only have to buy up 1 rifle here. So they're set up almost until the end of regulation in terms of their buys, and RBG doesn't really have much. Well, they do have the full loss bonus to work with, and CASA with the 6.8k could help along with Chop's 5.7k, but you're better off going for a light buy here and then for the full-on buy in the following round. 26th round of play here, Mike, and, well, I mean, as I alluded to at the beginning of the match, they like to play a lot of rounds on Nuke.
They do. They do like to play a lot of rounds. But I'm not quite ready to count them out either. We're going to get some investment into this round, so this is going to get kind of weird. No XMs. A little disappointed there, RBG. They're breaking out the MP9. But we did see a lot of XMs for PRT on the other side. A bit disappointed they're not breaking it out here. Speaking of PRT, it's a PRT and Pesa show. Both with 20 apiece. But leading the board for their team. Mobs had a really quiet first half, but he's alive and kicking here on the T side.
Walco's playing more towards Big Garage now. He was in secret for quite a few rounds, but a little more passive this time around. Only 1 player on B right now. That's CASA. Everyone else leaning towards that A site or the outer yard. Ooh, Wiz has an interesting position, Mike.
Molly gonna push Wiz out of said interesting position. Smoke goes down to make sure a peek doesn't follow it. That would be rather painful. Game of catch with nades. I like the positioning for Team 1 here. They've got a lot of real estate. And there's no one to watch ramp either. Am I mistaken about that? No, there's no one to watch ramp. They're all committed in towards A. Ramp room and heaven are completely given up unless Walco comes back to it. The timing is brutal. Someone's crossing out in the open and Walco's just looked away. He just spotted them. Just spotted a hint of ankle. That tells him where they're headed. And it's going to be up to CASA with this AUG to try and do some damage here. He'll not find one. Has to flash for a repeat, losing teammates in the meantime. He's done damage, but damage is not good enough, and he's losing the numbers. He's losing the numbers. XNS knife out. That's the gun. That's the right. Oh, no! He's eventually going to get dealt with, but CASA has now made this round possible, especially as they're funneling in. 10 seconds. They don't know where to go. They've lost the round. Mobs is out of position, and they will lose this to the clock. Team 1 beat themselves to give up round 13 to RBG.
I don't like to point these things out, Mike, but I really have to in that round. XNS, why are you doing this? Why are you walking into vents with your knife out?
The clock gets him.
It was complete panic.
But he had no clue that there was a player in vent. He'd seen the player towards decon and assumed he'd withdrawn towards site. And that assumption cost him.
You can't. The vents weren't cleared at all. You cannot go in like that. And honestly, Team 1 had the chance to put the nail in the coffin of RBG with that round. Now, instead, I mean, they do have enough money to buy up, as I mentioned earlier, with that cushion, but still tied up again, 13-13, when they really had Team 1 by the ropes.
Oof. Oof.
Big oof.
Big oof indeed. And RBG got to be counting their lucky stars right here.
Yep.
I mean, now it's just madness. Team 1 put themselves in a situation where they couldn't properly clear, couldn't properly control, and they paid the penalty. Okay. New round. New day.
Yes.
Reset. I need a reset after that one. There's still limitations for this RBG side as well. That's the problem. You get into it as the CT side. It's constantly fighting against the economy. They're going to go straight down secret again. This time much quicker into the round, though. Minute 30, and they're already down with the deep smoke set. Haven't been seen. They can't be seen. There is a player towards lower. That's Clasia who's moved here. Done with ramp. Said, where's you hold that? Let me deal with lower. We saw mobs get destroyed in this position in the first half. See if Clasia has more success with it. There's a lake lurk outside. That's Pesa. Walko's looking for him. Who's gonna get the better of this? Well, we might not have the luxury of watching it, as it does seem like the exec might be coming through. Molly in, that triggers them on in. And everybody's coming from this double door side, so Classia's position actually becomes quite strong. They've got no presence decon, so he can trust this. Doesn't know it, but he can trust this. But they clear. Nice entry for XNS. They did lose that lurk, but they're getting all the kills on site. And that's going to be round 14. Once again, the money is so trash for RBG that they cannot justify even thinking about this retake.
Oh boy. Good recovery by Team 1. I mean, XNS made up for his mistake in this round with a beautiful entry into that site, spotting out Clasia behind the boxes and making no mistake of it. Team 1, as mentioned, are going to retake the lead. It's just going back and forth here for both teams. But like you said, RBG just have to save whatever they can get into this next round. It will be, as of right now, an AK and a FAMAS, but Hext, he does have one player right near him. It's PRT. PRT will not go in the right direction. Hext will spot him out and, in fact, get that frag, but it doesn't mean much. Team 1 has the economy to absorb pretty much anything at this point.
So close to closing this out. So close. What are they going to call? Oh, they're going for the fast play. Hey, Molly down. They gone through it. Here's the spray down. It's a massacre. They're not ready for this at all. Hex got 2, but there's chopped up on the hut, and this is all falling apart. Walko collects his pound of flesh, and now it's just Maluk. The man who called the play is now the only one to survive, and he will burn alive getting a kill. That's going to be RBG tying it up once again. Team 1 tried to hit the complete tempo change, tried to completely mix things up, hit the gas, change the site hit, and RBG was ready and waiting.
I like the idea for Team 1 to go for that quick hit, say, look, we got some momentum under our belts. We just got that round back. Let's try to make it 2 in a row and finally get to that ever-elusive 15th, but no, denied by RBG completely.
Maluk even has money to drop him a Galil at this point.
Yeah, that's weird.
I mean, he's good with the Deagle, but these are not the rounds to let comms break down in terms of your buy. Bit troubling here for Team 1. We'll see if it affects them in round. They're not going fast this time. They're slowing it right down. We're already 30 seconds off the clock, and just now they're throwing some smokes outside. But it does look like it's going to be a fake. They're backing towards lobby. Walko will see this immediately. He can communicate to his team. They don't have to react to it at all. In fact, they can set up for this A play. A smoke goes in towards hut. This is the response. The one thing they don't have with their current setup is any real vision in towards ramp. That's the risk. When utility coming through, they know this is going to be another exec. It's coming out the squeaky door, and Chop just shut it down. That's the bomb down on the dirt. That is the bomb down on the concrete. And a world of pain. PRT trying to find something outside, but he's got to dance with a rifle. His teammates trying to get in towards the site to recover that C4, and they're costing bodies. It's all onto XNS. They keep them off of Series Point, and he can do no such thing. Series Point found for RBG. They may just have battled their way into the playoffs of Season 37 of ESEA Premier.
Wow. I mean, this is crazy. Oh boy. RBG 1 round away from potentially getting into the playoffs here. Team 1, they're just going to have to scramble together. Some Deagles, 3 Deagles, a Galil, and a Tech 9. Chop throws that smoke right onto the Molotov, so Pesa and XNS are going to have to wait a little bit longer to come out here, otherwise Chop will have their number. And he's with Hex. I like this stack onto the hut because then you can just boost the player into rafters, and that's exactly what happens here. And Hex throws a smoke into hut. Coordination RBG looks as good as it's ever been, Mike. Oh, Walko's going to spot out 2, and he gets the 2K, Mike. PRT doesn't respond for 1, but this could be it.
Oh,
PRT.
what a turn for PRT, but he's out of play. He needs his teammates to now bring it through. What a play. The bomb is still down. They need to recover that. They've got a smoke to try and do so, but as it fades, they didn't get that up in time. And Wiz collected. It's all on the mobs. It's all on to mobs. The Guatemalan legend has got to do it all, and he's dancing in the smoke. His feet have been seen. They're spamming through. He's losing his health, and he's caught in the back.
Oh, wow.
That's going to be it, folks. RBG advance. They take the head-to-head over Team 1. They put themselves in the mix, in the running for playoffs. Have they done enough? Have they improved the round differential enough? We're going to have to find out. That's all going to come down to Third Impact, how Third Impact does in their final match of the season. If Third Impact loses, RBG's in playoffs, Team 1's in playoffs. This game won't have mattered, but this is coming right down to the wire, and RBG have ensured they're still in the mix.
Wow. Honestly, well done for RBG. You know, they've had an up and down.